What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions. We're getting close to the end of the year, and a lot of people have recommended that I check out some Christmas music. But to be honest with you guys, I don't really like Christmas music, and not everybody celebrates Christmas. But what better way to make Christmas music more enjoyable than to make it fucking metal? So in today's reaction, I'm going to be checking out the latest music video from Majestica. And for anybody that's not familiar with that band, this is Tommy Johansson from Sabaton's other band. Well, he's actually been in this band way longer than Sabaton, but we'll talk about that later. Now, around this time last year, Majestica released an album called A Christmas Carol, which was an album made up of entirely Christmas-themed songs. And on November 26th of this year, they re-released that album as an extended version that has extra songs, and it's now available on vinyl, where last year's was not. So if there's any vinyl collectors out there or anybody that would like to support the band directly, I'll throw links below where you can go check out what they've got for this album. But I'm super excited to check this out, man, because I really like Tommy's work. I love his voice. I love his guitar playing. And I think with Majestica, we get to see a side of him that we don't necessarily get to see with Sabaton. So I will link this original video in the description below. And today, I'm once again listening to Majestica, and for the first time, checking out their brand new music video for the song This Christmas. Let's go. Oh, I like that little bass slide. Okay, before we get to this chorus, man, this year I'm actually hearing songs that I could throw into a Christmas playlist. We got Christmas Truce with Sabaton. Now we've got this, an entire album of this. I actually really dig this, man. The sound quality of this is fantastic, and I love how it is very Christmas themed. Now, we all knew that it was going to be like that coming in, but the bells in the background of everything, the overall sound, and the fact that some of these vocal patterns are kind of based off of very popular Christmas carols that most of us probably know. Selfishly, I love this video because we keep seeing everybody. We see everybody's gear, and I love checking out gear. So there's going to be some stuff to talk about later, but let's keep going for now. Oh, the vocals in this are killer. Whoa. Who is that? Was that their drummer? No, I don't think so. Might have been their bass player. All right, before this bridge part, we got a lot to break into, man, because I've gotten good looks on all the gear going on. But let's start with Tommy. And like I said in the intro to this, he's actually had this band way longer than he's been in Sabaton. Now, Majestica originally started, if I remember right, about 20 years ago, like around 2000. And it was under a different name. I can't remember the name. But originally, it was just a solo project for Tommy. And if I remember right, on at least the first album he released, he did everything. Drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and then eventually got a band. But when they signed to Nuclear Blast, then they adopted the name Majestica, and people have really gotten into him and familiar with them in the last few years. So Tommy, interesting enough, is playing a Charvel. With Sabaton, we usually see Ibanez and ESP. Now, the Charvel that he's playing is definitely a SoCal Style 1, which is like the Stratocaster. The Style 2 is like a Telecaster. I believe it's a Pro Mod because it looks like there's a Floyd Rose bridge on it. It's probably got Seymour Duncan pickups in it because if I remember right, Charvel uses a lot of Seymour Duncan pickups on all their stuff, but I'll check it out. But Charvel's an interesting company, man. Charvel originally started in the 70s as an amp repair shop by Wayne Charvel. And eventually, he had a business partner named Grover Jackson. That Jackson, who eventually took reins of the entire company. He bought it from Wayne and then eventually started Jackson Guitars, and at one time owned both Charvel and Jackson. Super long story short, ownership has changed a lot, but now Charvel and Jackson are both owned by Fender. Now, the other guitar player, it took me a second, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm pretty close. It looks like a Kramer. And Kramer's another one of those companies that, like, they've been around forever, really popular name in the guitar world, but I don't know a ton about that company. I do know that right now, Gibson owns them, but that's really about it. Now, the guitar he's playing is either an 84 or a Beretta if it's Kramer. I'm just going to assume it's Kramer. That's what the logo looks like, even though it's been kind of blurry. The Beretta was made very famous by Eddie Van Halen. Even though he never officially endorsed Kramer, he used the Beretta a lot, and that's what that looks like. But I'm going to do some research. I'll find out if that's what it is for sure to confirm in the little pop-ups and stuff. Bass player is playing a Schecter. It's a session series, and I believe it's the Model T. Very similar to like a deluxe P bass from Fender. It's got EMG J and P style pickups in it. And then the drummer is definitely using all Zildjian cymbals. Actually, everything looked like Zildjian, but now that I'm looking at a freeze frame, it looks like his hi-hats are Sabian. Interesting. I mean, technically, Sabian and Zildjian are the same thing. They're owned by the same family, even though they're two separate companies. Long story short, two of the brothers from the Zildjian company, because it's family owned, they split off. One of them got control of the company, and the other one got mad about it, so he left and started Sabian. And then drum kit wise, I saw a Tama logo on his inside kick drum, so I'm just going to assume that that kit is a Tama kit. I think that's it for gear. Let's go. Yeah, that's definitely a Kramer Beretta. Okay, I'm not crazy. There was a different guitar in there. So the other guitar that Tommy was just using for that solo part was also a Charvel, also a SoCal Style 1, but it was a different pickup configuration. Instead of the double humbucker like the other one, that one looked like it just had one humbucker, but I'll double check and, more pop-ups. Let's finish this off. God, I love his voice. Pretty rad, man. This could be like the first full Christmas album that I actually like play in my house around the holidays. I dug it, man. Let's go talk more about it. So like I said in the intro to this, I don't really listen to Christmas music every year. I kind of try and avoid it. But this year I've been discovering so many like Christmas themed metal songs that I might be able to make an actual playlist and play this stuff around my house during the holidays. I loved this, man. I really did. Sound-wise, sounded fantastic, and I wouldn't expect any less coming from Tommy. Musicianship on it was great. Again, wouldn't expect anything less. But it kind of made Christmas music cool for me, man. I want to go check out this entire album now, especially because I read that it is an entire story. If I'm not mistaken, I think it tells the story of Ebenezer Scrooge, which could be pretty metal, I guess, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that too, man. Maybe you found a new song to throw on your Christmas playlist as well. And just as a reminder, the extended version of this album is out, and links will be posted below where you can go check out the album, get it on vinyl, or stream it on whatever service you use. But thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe. I release new reactions all the time. Subscribing is free, and it helps my channel out a ton. If you liked this reaction, I would greatly appreciate the like, as it also helps the channel. But if you disliked it, no big deal, man. Thank you very much for your time. You are free to click dislike if you didn't like it. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I have a Discord server that a lot of us hang out on all the time. I have a Twitch where I do everything from live reactions to guitar tech work, bass playing, and video games. So if you guys are interested in any of that, I'll throw links below as well. My handle on everything social media is @TankTheTech. Thank you so very much for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.